Is it ever acceptable to change the profile of a core coffee? I'd argue quite strongly, yes it is. And this is what I'm going to discuss in this video. For those of you who aren't aware, a profile is a descriptor that a roaster would use that describes a recipe, how a roaster has applied heat over time. And the result of applying heat over time is flavor manifestation inside of the cup. And each roaster will have a particular style, a particular approach based on the aspirations inside a cup quality. And I'm of the strong belief that you can take an innate green coffee and display it in different ways, as long as a roaster does not proceed with roast defects. Anything that avoids roast defects is fair game in flavor profiling. What too is a core coffee? Well, many roasters will have on their portfolio a single origin or a blend that they have all year round. Now, the single origin could be a particular coffee from a particular farm or different cultivars from the same farm. There could be a whole different bunch of reasons for that purchase. Same too with the blend. It could be a single name that the construct of the blend stays the same throughout the year, or the composition could change. But in each, the narrative always sticks to the same gameplay, and that is to produce flavor qualities that your customer base are comfortable with so that they can stoically drink something delicious all year round. There is a lot of people who enjoy doing that. Of course, when you do this, the green coffee will change through time, whether that is within the crop year that you have just purchased or through the life cycle of that product line whilst you run your company. So inside of that period, the raw coffee changing, your roast approach changing, and the environment changing, you will, I guarantee, have a different flavor composition in the cup of that very same coffee. Now, I take the view that I will ride that wave of change through a 12-month cycle. And I split the changes down into two broad buckets: autumn, winter, and spring, summer. So if I have a core coffee, I will display it in a way that I feel best fits aspirations of coffee flavor profiling. And then similarly in the spring and summer, I make adjustments to display different qualities of that very same coffee. My example of this is Pantano. I've been buying this from this farm and Falcon Speciality, the coffee importers in the UK that I use to source this, since November 2012. We're in September 2025. It's a long period of time. And I have many customers that really enjoyed this cup of coffee. It has three discernible flavor qualities. That is a lovely orange, bright orange acidity. There's this hazelnut in the cup and chocolate on the finish. And during the year, I will adjust those like a graphic equalizer in music to display more or less of those components proportionate to the weather. We're moving into autumn here in the UK. I'm wearing my pullover and I should really be inside of my office in a studio that I haven't yet actually put together, and I really need to get onto it. But it's because of this weather change that I'm now considering and have actually executed a change in the profile to make sure that I am moving those flavor graphic equalizers. Let's use that as a visual descriptor or a visual analysis. And I'm hoping therefore that my customers will be respectful of and enjoy the change in the cup profile of this particular coffee. So what am I doing now? I'm gonna cup a couple of batches of it just to check that I'm on point. I want to reduce the acidity and beef up the body, making sure that there is a pronounced sweetness. And of these couple of roasts that I've done, I want to cup it and make sure that I've actually hit that mark. On the dry fragrance, you get a much deeper and more prevalent sweet hazelnut character, and you can really get into the milk chocolate character of the cup as well. Let's pour some water and I will convey the flavors. So what I'm getting in the cup is exactly what the plan was: a reduction in acidity, a beef up of body, There's lots and lots of chocolate prevalent. There's a good sweetness, lots of texture. Everything that I would expect of a coffee in the wintertime when it's cold outside. You want a comforting, wrapping type of coffee, not something that's particularly vibrant or acidic. I'll put on the screen now the actual change in this profile and what the profile is, so I can then discuss about what the changes are and the impact that they've had into the cup. So essentially what I've done is I've extended the development time and I've increased the end temperature. The result then is a color difference as well. So you get a slightly darker color inside of the cup. The weight loss percentage as a consequence of those has also increased as well. You'd be moving the coffee from an extremely light roast into a very light, or in this case, just on the verge between a very light and a light roast. Now, this video is not about Pantano, the actual coffee. It's more about a discussion around the impact of making a change, and should a roaster make a change to his or her core coffees throughout any given year or season. And my argument is yes. Yes, because through winter and spring, summer, there are different aspirations, certainly from when I'm talking to the customers that I have of their coffees. People want things that are a bit more bright, vibrant during the summertime and a bit more comforting during the wintertime. And that's the effect, or that's the change that I bring forward as we get into September or October here in the UK, and the onset of darker nights and darker mornings, and of course the colder weather. Now, in order to achieve these changes, one must understand the nuance of applying heat over time. As a roaster, you must be able to mitigate roast defects. That's the first thing that you need to learn. And then after that, have a bit of experience under your belt whereby you have altered roast profiles. You have understood the effect of increasing and decreasing temperature, or extending development time post first crack, or even adjusting your route to first crack. Once you have that armory in your pocket, you will then begin to build a picture of how you can manipulate flavor, texture, aroma, and all of those things in the cup to manifest the same coffee but different. And that, I feel strongly, helps you walk your core products through a 12-month life cycle where your green may be changing, and or of course the seasons are changing for your customers. If there are any other roasters out there, do you do a similar thing? Do you have core products, or do you just go with coffees that are brand new inside of the roastery all of the time? Do you even think about changing your profiles throughout a 12-month period? Is there a spring-summer profile? Is there an autumn-winter profile? I'd be interested to know. Do drop me a comment below. For any of you that are real customers, people who purchase products from us and enjoy things such as the Pantano, do expect some changes in the flavor delivery over this next period. It will impact you inside of the cup. You will experience more body, more texture, and a greater degree of sweetness, and somewhat preferentially a degradation of the acidity as well, which means that these coffees will become more proportionate to espresso-based brewing. We know that lots of you enjoy drinking coffee through espresso machines, and I feel that as we approach the winter period, more texture and body is exactly what you're looking for. If it isn't, do let me know again in the comments. As always, I hope this video has been useful, and I will see you again next time.